Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. So in this video, we will be talking about the best Mr. Olympia runner-ups, part 2. If you guys haven't seen part 1, I will link it below in the description. Part 1 is pretty much all the guys that will come to your mind first as far as the uncrowned Mr. Olympias. So in this video, we will be taking a look at guys that placed second and never won the Mr. Olympia, part 2. Hope you guys enjoy. Now, it only makes sense to do this video in order, so let's start with Robby Robinson. So Robby's situation is a bit confusing because in 1977, apparently the Mr. Olympia had a tall division and a shorter division. He actually won the taller division but lost to Frank Zane. In 1978, apparently he won the heavyweight division, so I guess it was heavyweight, lightweight, middleweight, and he lost again to Frank Zane. Now, Robby was never able to capture a Mr. Olympia title, but it seems like he won everything else. He did win the Mr. America, Mr. World, Mr. Universe, as well as the Masters Olympia. And as you guys can see here, even long after Robby has finished competing, still looks incredible, which just shows you how good his genetics are. And I always wonder if a guy like Robby Robinson or Sergio Oliva Sr., if they competed in our era, what would they look like? Now, Robby actually won the first Night of Champions in 1979, and he also won the first Masters Olympia in 1994. And I have no idea how Robby was never able to win the title. Just looking back, I wasn't around in that era, and I don't know too much about the 70s and 80s bodybuilding, but looking at this physique, man, I would have to think it was some politics or something going on. And any of my long-time bodybuilding history experts, let me know in the comment section below, why did Robby Robinson not win the title? Because looking back at this is one of the greatest physique of all time, let alone the greatest physique of the era. And for you guys that don't know, Robby Robinson is the logo for the Mr. Olympia, but he never won the title. So I know you guys see Joe Weider's head, but it's actually Robby Robinson's body. And if you don't know the story, I may have to do a video on it. That is a very interesting topic. Robby actually thought he was going to be the bust, but once they unveiled it, it was Robby's body with Joe Weider's head. So a lot of weird stuff went around in the past, a lot of very political stuff. Anyone with some insight on any of these topics want to jump in, let me know in the comment section below. Robby Robinson was never able to win the Mr. Olympia title. Now, the next guy we're going to talk about is going to be Gaspari. And as the longtime watchers on the channel know, I haven't been in the sport for too long, so taking a look at these guys were actually pretty interesting history lessons for myself. Now, Gaspari placed second at 3 Olympia straight, from 1986 to 1988. All of them being to Lee Haney. Not really too many pictures of the two of them. And Lee Haney looks a bit crazy here, man. Honestly, looks like Bill Cosby from some of the Cosby shows. But between Lee Haney and Gaspari, just looking at some of the pictures, I don't really think it was arguable. A lot of people from that era have high praise for Lee Haney. He's a family man, one of the greatest of all time. And from that era, his back was just next level. Now, Gaspari competed from 1985 to 1996. Actually turned pro in 1984. First year as a pro, he placed second at the Night of Champions and third in his first Olympia. Gaspari was known for his conditioning and probably being the first guy with striated glutes. I believe it's possible that other guys had them before him, but he probably the one that made it very, very popular. This guy had an incredible physique, man. Also, Gaspari would win the first Arnold Classic in 1989. And he actually won 6 Grand Prix over the course of his career. I really like Ridge's physique. As you guys know, I'm a fan of the somewhat shorter guys. He also came in very, very conditioned. But it's also interesting to look at the runner-ups at the Mr. Olympia, because every guy in this video could have potentially been a Mr. Olympia, had the top guys not be there. And that's very interesting because I wonder if bodybuilding would have won in a different direction. But going into the next guy and probably the most arguable Mr. Olympia placing of all time, Nasser Sonbaty 1997 versus Dorian Yates. Now, I personally haven't looked at all of these pictures and did a deep dive into it. If you guys would actually like me to break down 1997 and was Nasser robbed, let me know in the comment section below. But just from the pictures I'm sharing here, Nasser does look a lot better than Dorian, man. Every time I go back into the history of bodybuilding, I just get a feeling about some political stuff going on, pretty much all the way up until Jay Cutler retired. Once Phil Heath reign started, seems like politics weren't too much of a thing, but that's just me personally. Nasser looked incredible here, and hey, maybe he did beat Dorian. Who knows? What do you guys think? And Nasser was a very big guy. He was 5'11", competing anywhere from 260 all the way up until 290 pounds. His best win was the Arnold Classic in 1999. Nasser competed in 53 pro shows and qualified for 10 Olympia straight. He was actually a very smart guy. He was a college graduate, history degree, political science degree, as well as sociology. Really surprised me. And he was also known for always wearing the spectacles, as you guys can see, and he was actually fluent in a lot of different languages. Nasser, incredible physique, man, and may he rest in peace. The next guy we're going to talk about is going to be Victor Martinez, placing second to Jay Cutler in 2007. Between 2007 and 1997, not really sure which one is arguable, but to the bodybuilding world, these are probably the two most arguable Olympia placings of all time. Do you guys think Jay Cutler deserved this in 2007? Also, would you guys like me to take a deep dive into this? I haven't revisited this competition either. But just taking a look from the pictures, Victor did look pretty good, man. But once again, I wasn't around from the sport at that time. I'm just looking back at old pictures. Now, Victor was actually the second Dominican to turn pro. He won the 2007 Arnold Classic, head full of steam going into that Olympia, where he placed second to Jay Cutler. So 2004 was his first Mr. Olympia, placed 9th. The next year placed 5th. 2006 he placed 3rd. And 2007, you guys know how that went. Ronnie Coleman actually thought that Victor Martinez was going to be the next guy to carry on the title after him, not Jay Cutler, which I feel like was very interesting. So in 2008, Victor actually had to undergo a knee surgery, and that kind of messed him up. He didn't really compete too much after that. He came back for the 2009 Arnold Classic where he placed second. But unfortunately, after that knee surgery, it just seems like Victor's best days were behind him. But still incredible physique, and is also regarded as one of the biggest uncrowned Mr. Olympias. Now, he did make a return to the stage in 2020 and competed in the Arnold Classic. Victor Martinez took 9th in his competition. Incredible from the front, but probably wasn't as conditioned and a little off from the back, I'm just assuming. And this was actually from the prep from the 2020 Arnold Classic. And even to this day, Victor doesn't look too far off from this. Victor looks incredible. Just a testament to how good the genetics are, guys. A lot of people think it's the drugs, but you have to train hard. You have to do the food. And some guys are just built for it. They just have the genetics. And the last guy we're going to talk about is going to be Branch Warren, where he placed second to Jay Cutler in the year 2009. Now, I don't think too many people talk about this because this was probably the best Jay Cutler ever, and it wasn't necessarily arguable. But Branch had an incredible physique, man. Look at the arms on this guy. Look at the quads. I have no idea how Branch Warren was unable to win an Olympia title. In all honesty, this doesn't even look real. Probably because it isn't, guys. The amount of Photoshop pictures of Branch Warren is insane. I guess he must be a very easy guy to Photoshop, but Branch brought an incredible package to that 2009 Mr. Olympia, something no one ever talks about. Branch Warren beat the best Dexter Jackson of all time. We know that Dexter won in 08, but I'm pretty sure we can all agree that 2009, the best blade ever, was beaten by Branch Warren. Now, that may be arguable. We may have to do a comparison between those two because Dexter was the champ and improved, and he placed 3rd. It's very odd that you see a returning champ not win, but Branch Warren is a multiple-time Arnold Classic champion, winning the Arnold in 2011 as well as 2012. In between those Arnold Classic wins, he had a freak accident and tore his quad. Still was able to come back, win the Arnold Classic, man. So Branch would actually finish his career with 8 pro wins, and he did one more Arnold Classic in 2015. Placed second, though. Branch, incredible physique. Arguably the best legs of all time. Quads, hamstrings, glutes, and calves. Just incredible complete package. One of the most conditioned bodybuilders of all time. And Branch Warren still looks good today. Also one of the hardest training bodybuilders. We also have Dorian Yates, Tom Platz, Ronnie Coleman. But Branch definitely trains like a madman. As always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness. That's it. I'm out.